It has been 17 days since the public has been inconvenienced with continuous power shortages. The Ceylon Electricity Board Engineers Union and the Ceylon Electricity Workers Union expressed the following views in this regard.
The plan to construct the power plant in Sampur was not approved for more than 1 year. The PUCSL must bear half of the responsibility for this delay, as the PUCSL was represented through several groups. Our plans include the removal of coal power plants from the system and replace them with LNG power plants. However, a poor country like ours cannot withdraw from the coal power plant system. The PUCSL, amid the presence of the President, accepted that it was the CCEM that said coal power plants will not be constructed in Sri Lanka. It was a minute from the CCEM proceedings that were used.
CCEM එකේ මිනිට් එකක් තමයි මේගොල්ලෝ පාවිච්චි කරලා තියෙන්නේ මේ අපේ ගල්ලංගුර බලාගෙන පවත්තන්නේ.
Our country needs green power. If someone is under the impression that the establishment of coal power plants or nuclear power plants will solve issues, the answer is no. It may reduce the price of power. However, there is a huge damage caused to the environment. Those who ask for more coal power plants do not love our country. There is an issue regarding the establishment of power plants as per existent power generation plans. They have failed to construct these power plants and now claim that the relevant plans had not been approved. However, these have already been approved. 50 generators were brought down. The engineer who disagreed to this decision was sent home. Only 4 to 5 of the 50 generators are functional. Similar to pumping diesel to vehicles, these generators require engine oil.
Firstly, we did not intend to use these generators 24/7. However, we are now compelled to do so. When we called for tenders, 18 companies had responded. 11 of the 18 were rejected due to various reasons. One bidder named Sterling and Wilson Private Limited was initially rejected. However, the tender board had selected this company once again. So are we at fault?
A minor loss is incurred when generators are synchronized and utilized for operations. We can bear this minor loss. This is something very simple. The secretary to the respective ministry says that there are 200 generators in the state sector. What's the purpose of a government if power cannot be generated through those 200 generators?
We did this last year. Only 6 generators worked. I think there are approximately 200 generators. The state institutions dislike using their generators continuously. They lack sufficient oil resources and 2 or 3 people must be assigned to this as well. These generators will then depreciate very fast. The blame game goes on as trade unions in the energy sector continue to point the finger at one another. Regardless of the statements made, however, it is the general public who are at the receiving end of the sufferings. We are at a time where the people of this country are in a struggle to make ends meet. And while they are thrown from the frying pan into the fire, just a few have their pockets full as a policy. This has to end. To the CEB engineers who accuse various factions, we pose the following question. 1,480 megawatt small solar applications in 2015. Dendro 80 megawatt non-conventional renewable energy. 150 megawatt mini hydro non-conventional renewable energy. 100 megawatt mini hydro power plant. Plans to add 1,015 megawatts to the system in 2017. Mana wind farm with a potential of 375 megawatts. The 90x1 megawatt solar tender, the new Uma Oya, Broadland and Moraghakanda hydro power plants. Who was the cause for the delays in the constructions of these power plants and their expected targets not being reached? The country would not have been in darkness today if these had been implemented at the very least. For the sake of the people, the mafia of devouring commissions in the form of trade union actions has to be brought to an end. There have been instances in the world's history where such bold decisions were taken. On the 5th of August 1981, following the PATCO workers' refusal to return to work, US President Ronald Reagan fired the 11,345 striking air traffic controllers who had ignored the order and banned them from federal service for life. In 1984-85, UK Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher followed the same course of action against a trade union campaign launched by coal miners. in a bid to protect her country's economy. The prime example in Asia is how Singapore's first ever Prime Minister, Lee Kuan Yew, took on a group of air traffic controllers on strike.
I can tell you that when I met the SIA pilots, I didn't meet them on TV, I met them face to face, 5 feet across the table so they can see me and see whether I'm still vigorous, able to campaign and take them on. And I offered them 2 choices. Either you argue, you stop this intimidation, ruining his reputation, millions of dollars worth of advertisements and sales. I gave them a choice. Continue this and I will, by every means at my disposal, teach you and get the people of Singapore, help me teach you a lesson you won't forget. And I'm prepared to start all over again or stop it.
The people believe the time is upon the country to take similar measures against the energy mafia, which has today left the country in darkness for their own personal gain at the expense of the people's sufferings. This is a scam. The minister wants a bigger slice of the pie. The CEB employees are also siding with the most favorable option. The 2 parties are blaming each other and the engineers are carrying out pujas, pleading for it to rain. When you try to purchase power in a hurry, the cost is more. Last year's loss is 104 billion. It is almost the amount which could have been allocated to the Education Ministry. That money was wasted by the CEB. When they allocate money to the CEB from the Treasury, one part of it goes to the CEB, while the other goes to either the minister or officials of the CEB. That is a scam. They don't have to purchase power for 30 rupees. There are small-scale generators in the country, and a British company called Agrico has brought power for 4 rupees per unit, but we sold it at 30 rupees. Who pays for these? Is it Karunanayake or Wickramasinghe or the engineers of the CEB? No, it is the people of our nation.